I keep saying this, we're living in very, very crazy times at the moment. I have one video that I'm going to react to in a second, but I just want to say a few things about what's happening in the market at the moment. First of all, we're back to liquidating shorts, which means the market has turned around and moving up now. So the longs are happy now. Shorts starting to get liquidated. Again, it's easy to be liquidating shorts when we had that relatively sharp dip like a day and a half ago. So obviously the only way is up, quote unquote, but never say never. But market looking okay. The greed and fear index, I noticed, has dipped back into neutral. We were at greed yesterday, but this is often delayed by a couple of days or so because the sentiment that is expressed by the fear and greed index is often related to what already happened to people. So few longs got liquidated. Now people are slightly more fearful than they were yesterday, but it's only a matter of time before that just returns to greed again as we probably march upwards. Now most of the coins are still in red, as you can see here in the trending box: Ethereum, ADA, Doge, etc. But some coins popping into the green within the hour. So looking forward to some interesting things happening over the weekend and into next week. It's starting to happen. A veteran trader to XRP holders, the end is near. Now, this is a slight FUD piece in a way. It's a sort of it's not outright FUD. It's just saying that, you know, XRP might be nearing the top price. This particular trader is calling the $12 region as the top, while some are calling $50 as the top. And they're calling all of this to happen in roughly 40 days. So they're giving just barely over a month to go in this cycle for XRP to top out. And that's kind of FUD, to be honest, because, you know, a month from now isn't really much time in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the plans that Ripple has been laying out for XRP and the XRP Ledger and RLUSD, etc., etc., etc. And also a month from now isn't the end. In fact, the alt market are just kicking off. So a month from now is mid-September. A lot of people call in the top in September, which is kind of weird to me because I don't think that that's going to be the top. But I just think that this is a little bit of a FUD piece. XRP holders don't need to listen to random veteran traders and analysts because most of the XRP army about that business of holding long term to, you know, dollar cost average, hold long term, achieve passive income, you know, make some money when it goes parabolic. So most of us are in profit anyway at the moment, unless you bought at all-time highs or, you know, when it was $3.30 whatever. Never mind the dip that just happened yesterday. That's going to get erased in a couple of days or so, most probably, and then you're back in profit. You know, I don't think that anybody is thinking that we're going to have a top in 40 days. I think that that's just a little FUD piece. And when we don't get the top in 40 days, everyone goes away and everyone forgets that any such analyst ever said anything. Most of these analysts also are anonymous anyway. So all they have to do is change their Twitter handle and start analyzing yet again. And everyone's forgotten what they said before that didn't come to pass. So I'm just going to ignore that warning and move on with my life. This is more interesting though. Ripple CTO says that institutions can move value without XRP or any crypto assets on the XRP ledger, which is quite interesting. He talks about the way the XRP ledger is designed, and it is within the design for value to be able to be moved through the ledger without actually buying crypto, let alone XRP. David Schwartz made this disclosure on the back of a discussion started by Abdullah Nassif, host of the Good Morning Crypto Show. Notably, Abs highlighted a past comment from Schwartz where he described XRP more as a weapon than simply a reserve, which is quite interesting. In response to this, Schwartz confirmed that the situation actually matches XRP Ledger's original vision, noting that he hopes institutions take this route. He said the trust line concept dates back to 2004 when the XRP Ledger was first developed, and it later became a key part of the integrated protocol ILP, which links different payment networks. So basically what he's saying is that the XRP Ledger, apart from itself being, you know, a crypto ledger with XRP as a governance token and people can hold XRP and do things with it on the ledger, at the same time, you can have trust lines established by organizations at both ends and the XRP Ledger used as some sort of pipe, a network to, you know, carry out transactions without actually buying XRP. However, to do that, they need to pay the fees of the XRP Ledger, which is in XRP. Okay, so an analogy would be, say, if you live in Europe, right, and you want to go from an island island like the United Kingdom to France or to Belgium, you can go ahead and take a ferry to cross the English Channel, right? You can either buy tickets and actually use the ferry. So you're a passenger on the ferry sitting on one of their chairs, whatever, and actually taking the ferry across the water, across the channel, or you can drive your own vehicle onto the ferry. So now you're not using the native ferry's own chairs. You're using your own car, your own chair, your own everything. You know, you brought your own food or whatever, but you're transporting your vehicle on the ferry across so that when you cross, you just carry on driving with your own car. And a lot of people cross the channel this way with their own vehicles. This is how the vans and the big lorries that are coming from Poland, from wherever else in Europe that come to the UK, this is how they cross, right? So that would be, they didn't actually need to use the native infrastructure of the ferry itself. They brought their own infrastructure, but they did use the channel, the ferry's ability to cross the water. It's a weak analogy, but you get the point. So these organizations, apart from the fact that they can buy XRP and use XRP, they can also use XRP's infrastructure to carry out what is that they need to do by paying fees. So they can rent effectively the XRP ledger, which is quite interesting. I think that is going to be very, very interesting to a lot of institutions when the time comes. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. When I said that we're living in crazy times, this is a video that I saw this morning and I was just laughing to myself at how far we've come with cryptocurrencies. Now, if you've been around for a while, let's say you were around in 2016, 2017, try to visualize this happening in 2016 or 2017, and you'll understand why I say we're living in crazy, crazy times. Now, let's go.
When I say you're at the dial-up phase of crypto, you are. We have the fastest growing stablecoin on earth.
All right, let me just pause it there. Already, this is nuts, right? This is Eric Trump. And he's talking about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Eric Trump. All right.
At World Liberty Financial, everything is becoming digitized. Everything is becoming tokenized. We're making the big banks irrelevant, and it's an incredibly exciting time.
There is no doubt that crypto, digital money, is absolutely something that investors wanted to take part in, and it is growing exponentially, in part because of better regulation, clearer under this administration. But Zach, other than the fact that people feel that it's a way to, I guess, support the Trump family in getting one of these tokens, what are the reasons it would gain value relative to other crypto?
All right. I'll answer that in a second. But this lady is asking a very important question because remember, she probably has understanding of the old financial world. She understands, finance the old way, legacy finance. She also clearly has been looking into cryptocurrencies because, you have to. Who wouldn't? Now, she can't figure out. By the way, she's asking about the World Liberty Finance token, the coin, which is the coin of the crypto firm associated with the Trump family. And she can't figure out for the life of her why anybody would buy this token. Effectively, these coins are meme coins, stable coins that exist just for the fun of it, right? For making money. It's a pure money making scheme. Look, meme coins don't claim to have any utility, maybe with the exception of Shiba Inu with their Shibarium project. But most meme coins would tell you the whole point of a meme coin is for it to pump. It has no other utility. It has no other use case, no purpose. The idea of a meme coin is everybody rallies around it for community purposes and it pumps. Some people get out. And some people make money, most people lose money. That's how meme coins work. And she can't imagine why, she can't understand why the heck anybody would participate in meme coins. But look at his answer.
Say, for example, XRP, because XRP actually has a function. It is.
Oh, okay. Wait, let me roll back. I think I interrupted a little bit too early there. So, right. So she's comparing World Liberty Finance coin or token and, the Trump memes to something like XRP, saying XRP has a function. She can see it, which is crazy. This is the other crazy stuff. Ordinary people now understand, people that just a few years ago, someone like her would have asked, what is the point of this XRP stuff? It's just paper, digital money. It's a scam. This is how she would have been thinking. But now people like her can see clearly what XRP is for. Well, maybe not all of it, but she can clearly see the use case, right? And now she's thinking about all those other meme coins and whatever, how she would have been thinking about XRP back in the day. So I thought that was kind of interesting too.
XRP, because XRP actually has a function. It is the token of the Ripple blockchain.
Okay, so obviously that's incorrect, but we'll let that one slide.
Ethereum is the token of the Ether network. So What does this do?
Yeah, so
beyond just being, oh, hey, it's the Trump family coin.
So this is the
Nothing.
governance token behind USD1. USD1 is our flagship product. Like Eric said, it's the fastest growing stable coin in the world. We're actually, we have way more market cap today than RLUSD. You just mentioned Ripple. Right now, we're blowing their stable coin out of the water.
Wait,
Frank.
is that true?
We're really more market cap today than RLUSD.
All right, let me fact check that in real time. All right, let's fact check that in real time. So these are the stable coins by market cap. Tether, of course, is number 1. USDC is number 2. Athena, USDE is number 3. DAI, number 4. Wow, it is true. And look, RLUSD is way down here. PayPal is even ahead of RLUSD. I'm shocked by that. I'm actually quite shocked by that. Okay, so carry on.
You just mentioned Ripple. Right now, we're blowing their stable coin out of the water, frankly. We have a little over $2.2 billion in market cap. We have over $500 million in volume a day. And right now, we're the second biggest Genius compliant stable coin.
Interesting. Okay, so all right, look at you. Market cap that's amazing. They're over 2 times, almost 3 times the market cap of RLUSD. Well, how much of that though is Trump's billionaire friends putting money into it to pump it, And RLUSD probably more organic, right, than World Liberty Finance USD1. But hey, congratulations, they're doing well, but it's only a matter of time though before the DeFi effect kicks in and RLUSD surpasses most of these guys. But shout out to the Trump family, making that paper, making the money. He didn't answer the question. He didn't address the XRP question, as you see. He just basically pointed elsewhere and obfuscated the question. But it is what it is. Not financial advice. We're living in crazy times, guys. Don't let them shake you off your tokens. It's about to get wild.